Hey, it's heyitswhitlavonne and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing the first ever, on my channel at least, I don't know if anybody's ever had this idea before, but I am doing a series Superlatives with the Stay a Spell series. So if you want to hear more about this series and what I think the superlatives should be for it, keep watching. Now, this is my second time filming this video. I have a neighbor who's doing some demo. I went to go edit the video and it was terrible. And of course, on the one day I choose to refilm, they're demoing again. So there's nothing I can do. I want to get this video out like soon because the last book in the series, Grimm and Barrett, is coming out on May 9th. So I've got to get this video out. So I'm so sorry if the audio is messing up or if you hear a bunch of rumbling, just know like it's nothing on your end, it's on my end. They're doing crazy demo out there across the street, so whatever. Now, if you haven't heard of the Stay a Spell series, this is a paranormal romance series written by Juliette Cross, and it takes place in New Orleans, Louisiana, and it follows 6 sisters and their lives and the loves of their lives. So the first book in the series is actually Wolf Gone Wild, and in this book we meet Evie and Mateo. Evie is a hex breaker. Oh, by the way, they're all witches. In this book, paranormal romance, in this book, there are witches, there are Grimms, there are vampires, and there are werewolves. So Evie is a witch, she is a hex breaker, and Mateo is a wolf. He thinks that he's got a hex, someone put a hex on him. He doesn't know who it is, he doesn't know what the hex is, but for some reason he cannot reach his inner wolf. And so he goes to Evie to ask for help. There is forced proximity in this book, and things just happen. I really love Evie. She's my little Star Wars girly. She's so cute. We've got scenes like in a comic book store, and I just think she's so cool. Mateo is like, he still stands out as one of my favorites. It's so hard to pick a favorite. Every single one of these books is a banger. Let me just tell you that right off the bat. Every single one of these books is a banger. But Mateo, he holds a special place in my heart because he's the first man that we meet in the series. And this is the first series with a closet scene. And if you know, you know, you know. It's not actually a closet, but close enough. So anyway, so that's Wolf Gone Wild. Next we have Don't Hex and Drive, where we meet Izzy and Devraj. Izzy is a healer and Devraj is a vampire. He's actually a Stigorn vampire, and he is coming to New Orleans. He didn't live there before, but he's coming to New Orleans to help out on a secret project. Unfortunately, there are people getting kidnapped, and they want to figure out what is going on, who's doing this, why are they doing this, and they're trying to make it stop. And so Izzy kind of gets roped into this. I don't want to give away too much in this video. If you have not read the series, I want you to go read it. But I just keep thinking about how adorable Izzy is. She's the sweetest. In this book, we have like a low-key celebrity romance. We also have the he falls first trope, which I forking love. And there's also that bit of mystery, crime, like, again, that like thrilling, suspenseful, like, who's doing this? How are we going to get to the bottom of this kind of thing? Witches and Stitches follows Violet and Nico. Violet is a seer. All of the girls, by the way, are witches. It's a family of witches, if I didn't say that before. Violet is a seer and Nico is a werewolf. They actually met a few years ago. There was a little bit of a kindling, but Violet was like, peace out. I don't want to hear anything about it. And so now we fast forward a few years later. They're friends now, and they're trying to open up a tattoo shop together. So with them being together all the time, they're trying to, like generate excitement for this new business that they're opening together. Things happen. And that's where I'm gonna leave you on that one. There's also an anthology called Walking in a Witchy Wonderland. It's sort of like a novella, and it's technically number 3.5. It comes in the middle of the series, but I'm not gonna include that in our superlatives because it's just so cute, and like it's hard to pit that one against the others when all the other books are like their own storyline versus this anthology has a little bit of everyone. So I do want you to know it exists, and it comes as, again, like I said, 3.5 in the series, but I'm not going to include that in the superlatives. Next, we have my favorite book, Always Practice Safe Hex. This is where we meet Gareth, Blackwater, and Livy. And Livy is just such a freaking, like, she is a boss, okay? Livy is a boss. And it's so cool because like this is the 4th book in the series. We've heard a little bit about Grimms. They're very secretive. Now we get to have a first person point of view from a Grimm. So this is a really cool book just in general. But in this one, there is a competition going on. And even though Livy, Gareth, and a third person are working in a group, they're all working individually in that group. That's just how the competition goes. So even though they're working together as a team, they're still competing against each other. So we have that rivalry thing, but we also have the like, just, it's so good. It's so good. It's my favorite. It's so tough for me to make these videos because like I want to say everything about it and I want to say nothing about it and just make you read it. But this book right here, is thebomb.com. Just trust me, okay? You're watching this video. You must trust me to some extent. Trust me when I say read the series and take a deep breath. Cancel all your plans before you get to this book, okay? The 5th book in the series is Resting Witch Face, and this is where we get Jules and Ruben's love story. This is like the slowest of slow burns because it's actually a second chance romance, and it's kind of like a slow burn between you, the reader, and the series because we're burning up inside to hear more about Jules and Ruben at this point, and like just to have a whole book, like it's so good. So throughout the series, this overarching issue we have is that people really look down on werewolves, and whereas Grimms are held up here, vampires and witches, werewolves are kind of just forgotten. They're not cared about. Their voice doesn't matter. And so in this book, Resting Witch Face, Jules and Ruben have taken it upon themselves, along with the rest of the family, to change that. And they're going around to different places and saying like, hey, we need to gather together. We need to make sure that werewolves have a seat at the table, which is so cool. I love the way that Juliette wrote this like into the book and like how she made it happen, that like these characters feel so strongly and they're not just talking about it, they're being about it. And I absolutely love that. There is I'm not going to say that. Never mind. Read the books. Lastly, we have Grimm and Barrett, which follows Clara and Henry. This is the book that is coming out on May 9th. So get your pocket books ready. If you haven't already pre-ordered, go ahead and pre-order it, okay? Just listen. Again, this is where you trust me. This is where you trust me. Okay, so with Clara and Henry, by this time, we already know what the deal, like we already know what the deal is, okay? We already know what's happening, and it's just sitting back and just watching the magic happen. We do have another like crime, mystery, thriller, suspense thing going on here. So that's really cool to see that and to see it with a book with another Grimm, because by the way, Henry is a Grimm, to be able to see that crime and mystery and like how they go about proving what happened and what didn't happen and who said what. It's so cool to see that from a Grimm's perspective. I feel like with this book, this isn't just Clara's story. This is Clara's story and it's Henry's story. And I just love how Juliette wrote this. It was just so beautiful. And it's so sad to talk about it because I just can't believe that the series is over and that like I'll never read another Stay a Spell series book for the first time. Like the thought of that just hits me. But anyway, there are a lot of Easter eggs in this book that are super, super meaningful. When I tell you that the writing is beautiful, I really mean that. I really, really mean that. As far as tropes, we have grumpy sunshine in here. We have praise. Actually, I'm not going to tell you because I want you to walk into this book so blind. And I want you to feel like the surprise and the what that I got. Like, I want you to feel that for yourself. So I'm not saying anything. You go read the blurb. It'll tell you, okay, that's enough. That's all you need to know. Go read the book. Go read the book. And in general, so I just like general tropes for the entire series. These girls are in their 30s, and I believe Jules is early 40s, I think. We have fated mates in all of the books, and there is no third act breakup. There is no third act breakup at all in any of these books. You heard me right. So now that we've heard a little bit about the books, let's get into the superlatives. Okay, so the book that I reread the most has to be Always Practice Safe Hacks. Now, is that one the one that won because I read certain chapters the most? No, the Wolf Gone Wild is a close second, but I've literally read from front to back cover. I've read Always Practice Safe Hacks 8 times in the last calendar year. Yep, in the last 365 days, 8 times. I don't need help. Don't talk to my therapist about it, okay? It's just, the book is just good, all right? The book is just good, okay? Moving on. The one I couldn't put down has got to be Wolf Gone Wild, with Resting Witch Face being a very close second. But just like to not even know that a book like this exists and then to pick up Wolf Gone Wild, I literally could not put it down. I attempted to make dinner in the middle of reading this and was literally reading and like just filling around for the bread, trying to make a sandwich with one hand. When I say could not put it down, I mean literally, like quite literally. It's not figurative. Literally, I could not put the book down. The most underrated book has got to be, I was gonna say it has to be Resting Witch Face, but then I'm like, Witches Get Stitches though. Oh, this is a close tie. I'm gonna say Witches Get Stitches. Witches Get Stitches is the most underrated, because I feel like so many people were so excited for Jules and Reuben. I feel like people appreciate the love, like the romance, the push and pull that's in that book, but I feel like the actual like plot of what the heck is happening is underrated. But as a book as a whole, it's Witches Get Stitches. I feel like that one is just, all of them are so good. It's so hard to choose these. But I think that's the one. The book in the series with the most unique storyline, I think I'm gonna have to give it to Grim and Barrett. When you read the entire series, exactly what happens, you're not expecting that. Or at least I wasn't. The most distressing book has to be Don't Hex and Drive. Immediately, the most distressing. Yes, Hex and Drive. I was on the edge of my seat like, baby, what is going on? What are we doing? You better fix it, Jesus. Like, I did not know what was going on, and I was skirt. I wasn't scared. I was skirt, okay? Okay, I really wanted to give the audiobooks a listen before I did this video, but I ran out of time. That's a whole nother video, but I'm just gonna go ahead and guess that the best audiobook is gonna be Always Practice Safe Hacks. When you read the scenes, you know what I mean when I say I'm picking this just with the understanding that someone is reading particular scenes out loud. It has to be Always Practice Safe Hacks. No other answer. No other answer. Best cover was so difficult to pick, but this one has to go to Witches Get Stitches, I think. Each book has little details up here and down here to kind of show like what's going on in the book, and I think that this is the only one that I have a physical copy of. But I think that for Witches Get Stitches, I think this is the best one. That, first of all, my favorite color is purple, but also the images that are on the cover. I think this one, I don't know, I like it the best. This is my answer. It's my opinion. The book with the best art. This one is difficult, but it's also not difficult at all. It's difficult because all of the art is great, but it's also not a difficult choice because look at this. Look at it. There's no way I can pick anything else but Don't Hex and Drive. I can't pick anything else than that. Like the answer's already made up for me. I don't get a choice. The best art just is don't hex and drive. I don't make the rules. The next one is the favorite couple. I don't know why we're asking this. You already know what I'm gonna say. It's Livy and Gareth Blackwater. You already know that. Granted, a very close second is Henry and Clara, but we already knew that I was gonna say Livy and Gareth. Is anybody surprised? No. And lastly, the book that gave the most FOMO has to be Grimm and Barrett. When I tell you, I was crying crocodile tears at the end of this book. I'm not about to cry on the internet. The Easter eggs at the end of this book and knowing how meaningful they were to certain characters and just getting to see everyone live their degular lives and just be surrounded by love. Yeah, Grimm and Barrett, there's no question about it. This one definitely gave me the most FOMO. Okay, that's the end of my series Superlatives. Don't forget, Grimm and Barrett comes out on May 9th. And we also have the Stay a Spell Kickstarter launching. I'm so freaking excited about this. I'm going to put the link below. I'm going to put all the links for you so you can just get your life and read these books. But Juliette Cross is hosting a Kickstarter. It's launching on June 1st. And this is going to be special edition hardcovers of the entire series. You can actually go in and sign up and Kickstarter will notify you when this particular one will launch. But again, the date is June 1st right now, and hopefully I've got these on the screen. You can see how beautiful these covers are. I'm so excited. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope that you know that you are loved, and you are valued, and you are worthy of respect, not because of what you do, but because you exist. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you around. Bye.